All right, guys, today I'm gonna show you some of our new products that we got here at the shop. I'm pretty excited about them. We'll see what you all think about it after I'm done explaining them all to you. So first off, we're gonna start with some new releases that we have. We just got the new B3 Exit handheld release. As you can see, it's got a pretty good price point on it. Rudy and I got to mess around with it yesterday a little bit, and I think you guys are gonna be honestly pleasantly surprised. It's got a great feeling on the handle, and actually it has a very smooth trigger on it. So this is, whoops. This is kind of what it looks like right here. We've got it in an OD green and kind of like a tan sand color. I don't know the exact names for the colors. Yeah. It's got a comfortable wrist strap that I really like, so that way it's always on you at all times. Makes it really easy when you're out in the field. This is a set screw, so when you loosen that, you'll actually be able to pivot the thumb barrel any direction that you want, which is really cool. Super customizable. Not as much in the handle as far as being able to customize it to your shooting preference, but that's kind of what you get when you get a more of a budget handheld release. You don't get as many features. Even having this thumb barrel be able to pivot is something that a lot of other companies don't have, especially in this price point of a release. So I'll take that. It's really smooth. I really like it a lot. So that's this new release. The other release that we have, which has been around for a little bit, but we have it in the shop now, which is going to be the BG Pro. So this is the Braden Guillotine Signature Series release, and for those of you that don't know who Braden Guillotine is, he's one of the most successful archers, professional archers out there right now. And he partnered with B3 and came out with this release. This is the release that Bodie Turner, last year's Vegas winner, this year's Lancaster Classic winner. I mean, he's one of the best shooters out there right now, and he's only 15 years old. But this is the one he really likes to shoot. This handheld is different than these two, the Exit. This is a hinge style release. So it goes off based on the hinge of the head there. When it reaches a certain point, it fires. So it's got kind of this really crisp feel to it, and it's a really rounded edges, so no matter which way you're holding it, it doesn't want to pinch anywhere. It doesn't really have any sharp points on it. The other thing that's cool is that you can adjust this finger, so if you want to have a fourth finger on there, you can adjust where your fourth finger sits, or you can just shoot it with three. Super nice release, very comfortable. Obviously it's been throwing down some really good scores. It's won a lot of tournaments this last year. So if you're interested in the hinge, don't be afraid to try that one out, because it is a great release. All right, now moving on to the next topic is scope housings. So single pins have been becoming very popular over the last couple years for the hunting world. And so this is the new Excel AVX31 scope housing. So this replaced your original AV31 housing that they made. I like this one a lot better than the original AV31. Just the scope, the accessory options are so limitless. It's really cool. So you can pull these rings off. So this one, when you remove this one, you can order, or we can order separate like shades, so that way you can shade the back half of this to keep the sun from glaring off of the pins. There's all kinds of accessories you can screw into that. This is kind of your retainer ring here, but that's also really cool. When you take this out, this this is your spacer here. That's just kind of like another lens spacer in case you wanted to run a lens in that. But all these pins slide in and out. So this is sold separately from the AVX housing. When it comes together, like when it comes out of the package, it's usually just these two here together. And the reason they do that is because a lot of people will run a scope housing or a lens without any pins or anything and put a sticker in it. But for those of you that like to run a fiber, they have the ring pins that you can slide in there and put a single pin. But it's really cool because they have 4 notches, so you can fine tune exactly where you like it. If you want it on your hunting setup and have it coming out the side like you have your 5 pins, you can do that. If you want it coming out off of the top, you can do that as well. So for me on my 3D target bow, I usually will run a down pin. So the idea of that is some people, like when they have their their pin set like that, it gives a tendency for what they're aiming at. They want to dip out the bottom and be able to peek. So it'll make them shoot low if they're struggling with a little bit of target panic. Sometimes my brain does like to peek. So when I am struggling with that, by me putting that pin above, right, it prevents me from dipping low because it covers actually more of the target. So it helps me stay on target and want to pull the bow up rather than dip low. So that's another preference. And then having it on the side, obviously that's very traditional like we've had for a long time. Now, we don't have it yet, but we have them in the AV41. This is the new Ranger double pin fiber housing. So just like the single pin on here, very similar concept, but now you've got a double pin. So this is very new for Excel. They've never had the double pin housing on any of their scopes, and now they do. So you can take all of the nice accessory options that I just went over with this scope housing and put 2 pins in it. So that's a really awesome addition to this series of scopes. This is on the 41 housing. We don't have the double pin yet for the 31s, but they are on order and they'll be in very soon from what we're hearing. So same kind of concept. Take these rings off, and then this ring here will just pop right out, and that is your new Ranger pin housing right there. And what's really cool about this is it actually has a shade on it. So this little black ring here will act as a shade when you're out hunting. So you can move that to the top of those pins, and if you get too much light on the fibers, you can dim it. That's not something that the single pin has, but it's really nice for the double pin. And again, you can set this however you want. I would not encourage you to run it at the side. That'd be kind of goofy. But you could do it from the top. If you like the red being on the top and the green being on the bottom. Very weird setup if you ask me, but feel free to do it if that helps you. Most people are gonna run it from the bottom like that and have, when they're zeroed, the top pin be their 20 and their bottom pin be close to 30. So I'm really excited about this. I've always really liked the Excel scope housings. So for them to be able to make the double pin and kind of add to their, add to their addition of awesome accessories, I think this is going to be a really good one for all of you guys. I've used them before. This is a very new one, so I haven't spent a lot of time with it, but the time that I have spent behind this housing, I really, really like it. So come in and check them out or pick them up while we have them. Take it easy, guys.